of Honor stuff. I thought that was really amazing, just because I got to get in touch with some real emotion and some classic orchestral stuff that I love. But I also had I had a grandfather who was in the Army and stationed in the Pacific, so for me it was a little bit hit closer to home, and that was really cool. Beyond that, obviously Supernatural in terms of television, because I get to work with my one of my best friends from college and of my whole life, Eric Kripke, who created the show, and so it's just like playing every week, which is great. And then for movies, I really loved Adam last year. I thought that was a really good one in terms of a way to work with a writer-director who was really great and be part of a really big movie, which is cool.
That was a drama.
That was a drama. Yeah. I don't get those very often, so it was nice to be able to do it.
We all want more dramas.
Yeah, we do. I love talking animals too, so don't get me wrong. By the way, no, I'm just kidding. Nate.
I really like True Blood a lot, because it's one of the first projects I've done, other than the stuff I've done with Eli Roth, that where the creators have really allowed me to do whatever I want to do in terms of trying things out before we nail down a style. And because I played the score as well, it for better or worse, it feels like me to me, with all my baggage. So it has a sound to it, which I like. So I would say the stuff I'm writing now is really fun for me to write, and I'm really, really happy with. And then in terms of more traditional orchestral stuff, the Hostel films were fun, and they're totally over the top in a very deliberate way, and that's always fun to work with Eli on those films.
What else, Ray? What was that? Oh, gotcha. So the question was asked, what actually is the Looney Tunes project that I'm working on, and how did I get involved? And it's actually a relaunch of Looney Tunes for Warner Brothers, and I just done Cats and Dogs 2 for them, and that went well. And so apparently they trusted me enough to try to bring me onto this one. And basically what it is it's all your favorite Looney Tunes characters in CGI 3D. So
that's gonna be
so
awesome.
It's basically, it looks like a Pixar movie, but it's Wile and Roadrunner and Daffy and all that stuff. And it's pretty, and it's in 3D, and it's pretty darn cool. So. Do
you have to use any of the Carl Stalling stuff?
We open with it and we close with it. Everything in the middle is mine.
That's fantastic.
But it is definitely, it's a Carl Stalling style thing, but with
stuff's hard to write.
So many notes. I think my orchestrators definitely had carpal tunnel by the end of it, because it was a lot of runs, a lot of fast stuff. But it's definitely, and it was all recorded at Warner Brothers, so it's most definitely sort of going back to something that everybody holds pretty dear to their hearts. So at least I did, growing up with Bugs and everybody. So it was pretty cool. But to see it all in 3D and to actually see Wile have fur and eyes that bug out that are vividly detailed is pretty unbelievable. So yeah, it was a really good gig and really fun.
Are you done with it?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm done. It comes out, the first one. They're showing before all Warner Brothers 3D movies. So the first one is actually before Cats and Dogs, which I did as well. So
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, sounds quite cool.
That's good. Great.
Yeah. Question for Nate. So it seems like you use a lot of vocals in your score, and you tend to use this vocalist, Elizabeth Scott. How did that connection start?
Elizabeth Scott and I met at Media Ventures many, many years ago, and we're married. And that's where our collaboration started. And we then got divorced, but we are still best friends in the world. And so we continue to
And
work
he's not
together.
kidding. They're inseparable over here.
We continue to work together and do festivals like this together. And I think we hope to write many more songs together. We wrote a couple songs for True Blood.
Great.
Thanks. And we've written songs for a couple films, and then we hope to keep doing that because we have a really easy working process together. So that's where that collaboration started. And Lisbeth's voice is so amazing; it can be used as an instrument too, without lyrics. And so that's sort of an added bonus. And she's been doing it for years and years and years, so it's just so effortless with her.
So then I'll take that. What I didn't know you were at Media Ventures ever.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who'd you work for and what'd you do?
Hans.
You worked for Hans?
Yeah, I was Hans.
And lived to tell about it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was Hans' assistant for 8 months.
Okay.
12 years ago, or 11 years ago. Yeah.
What projects were going on when you were doing that?
Armageddon.
Okay.
Thin Red Line, As Good as It Gets was the first one that he was doing when I first started there.
That was a great one.
So it was great. Good score. So that was great. I walked in there not knowing what MIDI stood for, and you better believe 8 months later
you knew how it worked, didn't you?
Yeah, that was amazing.
What else you got, Ray? Okay. Right. So the question was, when I do games based on films, do I go for the same sound as a score? The funny thing is both in terms of the two you asked about, Quantum of Solace and the Simpsons game, both of them actually, the games came out and were finished before the movies came out. So I had never seen, actually it was, I had never seen the Bond film or heard anything that Hans did in either one of those before it actually came out. So what I did, Quantum of Solace was definitely sort of a John Barry meets the modern stuff. I think we went. I personally, just because that's where my tastes lie, went a little more classic Bond, even though I did use the electronics and things like that. But I kind of was hoping it was a little bit more of a kind of like a Thunderball meets Bourne Identity thing. And then as far as Simpsons, the Simpsons game was very specific to itself because the whole thing was parody. Every level was The Simpsons stuck in a parody of another big video game. So there would be the parody of God of War, the parody of EverQuest, the parody of all this stuff. So basically every level had a completely different sounding score. Some was big orchestra, some was small, some was gothic. So it actually wasn't very Simpsons-like. If you listen to the score on its own, it actually sounds pretty schizophrenic, and each level had like 10 minutes of music specifically for the situation that they were stuck in at the time. But it came out great. But yeah, it had nothing to do with the movie. Yeah, all the stuff that I do for the spoof movies are sort of like that. Although the one that I've got coming out later this summer that's called Vampires Suck, which is excellent, and I just finished recording that. That one actually I got to do sort of my own thing on. It definitely obviously fits in the vampire genre, but it's nothing like True Blood or Twilight. It's sort of its own a little bit more over the top romance.
Did you do that in Budapest? Is that what you were
I just did it in Budapest. Yeah, I just did.
That's cool.
Yeah, I totally ripped off Nathan Barr. Oh shit, are we still recording?
Yeah.
Damn it. Crap. What? All right. You are now being asked, what was your inspiration for the sound of True Blood?
Inspiration from the sound of True Blood. I came to be on that project because Alan Ball Alan Ball's editors, when they were cutting True Blood, temped in my score to Hostile. And so I was one of the guys called in for the interview.